Hello.
Hello,
Hello, how are you? Are you okay?
how are you?
I'm
Thank you.
great. So, what's up, bro? Are you
What's
ready?
up? Yeah, I'm ready. I'm stressed.
You're stressed. First, tell me, what did you do in the past few days? How did you self-study? What happened?
It is really difficult to study the speaking part. I don't really know how to study it. I'm talking with the walls and the air and stuff like that. I'm basically reading the question for myself and answering it back. But the hardest part is that if you want to correct yourself or use some grammatical structure or something, um, it seems like it is impossible because if I meant something and um, if I'm saying something in a specific way, I can't change it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, I can't change the structure of my sentences. It's really hard for me. It really um, it really needs to um, change my overall thinking pattern. You
Uh-huh.
know, I have to decide what's my structure and then tell the uh, sentences that I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know,
it is.
when it comes
uh,
to self-studying, you really you need time to have some critical thinking, okay? Don't just complete the parts and let it go. Okay, you really need to think about some things, especially that you chose to first self study and then you come for the exam skills. Um, but I guess if I'm not mistaken, right now I should. What is this? We are on the exam skills of unit
4, 5.
4 and 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Unit 4 and 5. Great.
I was just checking the internet for the band 7 or band 7.5 um, speaking part tests
Mm-hmm.
for to check that how are they doing or um, am I close to them or not?
Mm-hmm.
It seems that they are not really great at all. Um, the things that I watched, they were terrible, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion. They
But
were
but
not.
remember, don't get mistaken by accents. Some students think if the person speaks pure British, pure American, they will get a better score. Well, that's not the case. Maybe that person with, I don't know, a Polish accent or a Russian accent is
Hmm.
using better vocabulary, is using better grammatical structures, and the
Yeah,
the grade that he's going to get, the band 7 or 7.5 that he has achieved, is because of that, not his accent. And remember, I told you they don't really care if you have a Persian accent, Polish accent, Russian accent, as long as your pronunciation is correct. That's what counts. Yeah.
yeah. He was using a lot of idioms, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. That was the
So
main reason I think he
I guess
was.
so. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was the reason that he got that score. Okay, just give me a moment. Where is my notes? Notes. Ah, okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So we're going to start with task 2. You have a minute to take notes and plan what you want to talk about. Okay,
So,
start.
I'm going to talk about my laptop. Um, I bought it about 2 years ago. To begin with, um, I bought it from a shopping center near to our home from a Poytacht shopping center. Um, when I want to go there, I call some of my friends, which he got some friends over there, and he advised me to buy this laptop. Um, the reason that I choose this laptop was that the CPU and the capacity of RAM was really great, and it really fits to what I wanted to do. However, the price was really high, and I it cost me an arm and a leg. So I am really feeling happy about this piece of technology that I bought, and it is very fast and not so heavy, and it is not getting heated when I use it for a long term. So I'm really happy about it.
That's it.
Yes. 2 دقیقه شد.
Uh, well, that's not my concern. My concern is that you explained where you bought it, why you bought it. You didn't really explain how often you use it.
Oh, I forget.
You did say that you use it and the laptop doesn't heat up, the CPU is good and whatnot, but you didn't say how often you use it, and you didn't explain how you felt when you bought it. So half of your answer was actually missing.
Mm,
Yeah?
yeah.
But what I liked about your answer was that the introduction was good, the opening was good. I like the fact that you started with to begin with, blah blah blah. That was alright. Um, I liked the idiom that you used. It cost me an arm and a leg. That was really good. Um, now, I like. I mean, heated is good. The laptop didn't get heated. Blah blah blah. But you could also say the laptop didn't lag at all. You know,
Mm-hmm.
this is what's really important for most, computer users. So it doesn't lag, yeah? And
Yeah.
this would, just raise your level in terms of vocabulary, LR, lexical resource. And the fact that you use advised me to buy, advised me, sorry, advised me to buy, I wouldn't use advised me. I would say that, my friend recommended me.
Mm.
I prefer recommended. Recommended me to buy, or recommended buying. Buying. Normally, We use recommended buying. My friend recommended buying blah blah blah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Comment.
And by the way, I wrote my notes here on the tablet. All right.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
It's far easier like this. As you're speaking, I just quickly type.
Hmm.
Okay. Take a look at the next part. Part 3 questions. In what way are people's attitudes to money different to previous generations?
Um, Generally speaking, the fact that nowadays people are taking picture from their every activities and day-to-day lives. They are showcasing their stuff that they are buying. So having money to um, buy some stuffs to show off and show other people that they have some luxurious devices like mobile phones and some famous brands like Dolce Gabbana and stuff like that. It is very important nowadays. Um, in my opinion, in previous generations, there were not something like that, and people care less about their their assets. So yeah.
Okay. Um, Now that paper money is hardly ever used, how has this changed our relationship with money in general?
Um, well, in my opinion, um, the important part of using paper money, in my opinion, was that you know exactly how much you are spending. These days, credit cards are actually the reason that people are one of the reasons that people are spending more money on their expenditures. So um, the other reason could be that um, credit cards um, credit cards are make people to buy more stuff and things like that. Oh,
Okay. Some people believe that online shopping has brought only benefit to our lives. Would you agree?
well, generally speaking, online shopping has some benefits for our lives. One of the main reasons was that online shopping um, makes the process of shopping more easier, and the person uh, doesn't have to deal with the hassle of the um, cities. So it is very time efficient, and also it is um, more um, efficient in case of the costs. It is, I mean, it is cost efficient. So the other benefit could be that the variety of goods that are available online are very huge, and there are some uh, online shopping centers which you can buy everything you want. So, in my view, there are really small disadvantages with that. And the advantages outweigh the disadvantages.
Mhm. Okay. What are the risks involved in starting your own business as opposed to being employed in a full-time salaried position?
Well, um, the thing is, when you have and own a company, you have to um, make sure that you can handle all of the problems which are going is I mean which it could come up in that company or business. For example, you have to make sure that you can manage and handle your staff. You can know what the demand of the what's the demand of the market, and provide goods for people in your market. So um, I don't think it's an easy task to do, but being an employed being employed in a company is very much easier, and yeah, I don't.
You're going well. Okay. Um, Before I ask you the last question, let me give you some motivation. Okay. What I
Okay.
liked about your speaking so far, you use very good vocab, the ones that I have written down: showcasing, luxurious. You related all of your responses to people. You used assets, expenditures, process. Doesn't have to deal with the hassle. Very good. Cost efficient. Good. I would have used cost effective. It's more, what do we call it? Common than cost efficient. Um, in my view, you used in my view, your own personal view at the end of, first relating it to the society, which is a good thing. Outweigh, handle the problems come up. You use come up slang, it's a bit slang, but it's suitable for speaking. Very good. Now, I also have some improving points for you to think about. You you used generally speaking twice. I only asked you, I guess,
Mhm.
4 questions, so you started with general speaking twice. You could have, started differently, and you used buy a lot. The verb buy. What other words do we have? We have purchase. Yeah,
Buying, okay, purchase.
yeah, purchase, or maintain, obtain,
Mm.
to get something. Your
Yeah,
video has stopped for a few moments. Okay. Say
is it
something?
okay?
Now it's okay. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could have used other phrases. And other than that, you use the active structure a lot. You can also use passive. There are
Um,
points, there were places that you could have used the passive structure rather than the active one. So, give it a variety. Okay?
okay. Yeah.
The variety of your grammatical structures are really good, but you use active a lot. You can also use passive too.
Add some passive. Okay.
Yeah. Question 5. How important is it that people learn to manage their finances better?
Um, Actually, it is very important to um, manage the finances because uh, we earn the money very hard. We worked very hard every day. We go through some hurdles in life for earning that money. So managing and knowing what to spend and how to spend our money is very important. Um, um, that's it.
That was so short.
Yes, that was so sure. I didn't have any idea. My mind gets really tired. No idea is coming into my mind anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe your mind is exhausted. It has
Exhausting.
thought a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of thinking going on. Okay. And one more thing I want to add to your points of improvement is um, think of ways that you can decrease your hesitation as well. There are points where you start to stumble over your words and you start to
Mm.
hesitate. And I know that is due to the fact that you don't have enough ideas. You don't know what you want
Yes.
to say. So,
I
generating ideas.
Practicing could make it more better, I
Hmm.
think.
Of
But
course.
uh, but I really sometimes I'm not sure what I want to say, and sometimes I hesitate because I'm not sure of the grammatical structure. I think of the way to. Is there any better way to say the something that I want to say? I think a lot when I am speaking, and it very gets me tired and exhausted.
Hmm. All right. Can you just give me a moment? Somebody has called me.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Hello. Salam alaikum.
Hmm.
Redmi نه می 9 می 9 ردمی نداره شیائومی می 9 سلام علیکم خسته نباشید قربان شما من دنبال قاب شیائومی می 9 میگشتم آها خب اگه میشه عکساشون رو لطفا بگیرید تو واتساپ برام بفرستید من چند تا مدل ببینم ممنون میشم شمارمون رو دارن همین الان زنگ زدن دیگه دستتون درد نکنه یه دنیا ممنون قربان شما خداحافظ شما Okay, so I'm really sorry about that. Um,
Oh,
Now you self-studied Unit 4. I guess you have also self-studied Unit 5, yeah?
yes.
Okay. And do you think you're ready for Unit 5 exam skills?
Um, doesn't differ anything.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm ready.
did you prepare for it? Did you spend time on it?
Yeah, yeah, I've read it.
Okay. So let me just.
Somehow it's vague. What's the some in some points, um, Unit 5, I guess. Yeah, Unit 5 wants to tell some things about uh, grammatical structures and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
the way that uh, it was trying to tell me that don't use or use these grammatical structures are very, I think, practical,
Mhm.
um, and it was um, a some new something new that I didn't see in my life.
Mhm.
Some grammatical lessons that it is not grammatical lesson at all.
Mhm.
It was like that.
I guess you also faced, using some expressions, relating it to
Yes,
history,
yeah.
and yeah, I can see the grammatical, the passive one, participle clause. Each one of them, each one of them, if I were you, I would go and search about each grammatical structure and look for it, practice, do some worksheets, then try to use it in your speaking as well. That would help you a lot. And if you have any problems with them, you can also tell me in advance. Tell me, for example, okay, I've studied this grammatical structure, but I cannot use it. What shall I do? And I will try to make something like a PowerPoint or something, and then we can have one session trying to activate your speaking using that grammatical structure. We can
Oh,
do
okay,
this.
that could be very good idea.
Yeah. But first, I want you to, first self-study it, look for worksheets, uh, try to use it yourself. All right, record your voice, listen to yourself, and the ones that you think, oh, what is this? I don't get it. Okay, let me know, and I will tell you what to do later on.
What can I do about the hesitation? And do you have any idea what
Your
can I do?
hesitation is mainly due to lack of ideas. Okay,
Mm,
and the only thing you can do is practice. You need to, practice a variety of different questions and different topics. So, whenever they ask you certain questions, you don't lose yourself. All right, you don't start to stumble over your words, and
mm.
uh, it's like you're already familiar and you know what to say. You have some ideas. This is what you need.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's something that I'm doing right now. Yeah.
very good. And I guess in task 10, there were some expressions for you to express, whether how much you agree and disagree with something. That's very useful too. Certainly.
Yeah.
Well, there are two ways to look at this. To be frank, you see, there are very good
Yeah.
openings as well.
Yes, I write them down in a paper,
Mhm.
and every time that I'm practicing, I'm trying to use them. But
Mhm.
sometimes it's really hard to uh, do that
Mhm.
because, as I said before, um, the way that I'm starting to talk about something is very important. I mean, you have you have to have an idea what structures you are going to use for your
Mhm.
answer.
Exactly. Well said.
Um,
So,
is it okay to prepare some structures, pre-prepared structures, and use them?
sure, why not? Why not? But
Yeah.
it shouldn't be memorized. Okay, you can, I always tell my students to learn some chunks, some bits, and try to activate it in their speaking, but not, memorize whole pieces of texts and just,
Hmm.
memorizing and saying. That's not speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, let's start with part two. You have 1 minute to take notes and plan.
so we can go.
Oh, you are ready.
Yes, I'm ready. No, no, I'm ready to write down.
Okay, start writing.
Okay,
Okay, please
so
start.
it's not something that I really think about, but the person which I'm going to talk about is Adolf Hitler, a famous German leader. So to begin with, he was the leader of German people during the World War II, and when the Germans were very frustrated from their loss in World War One, Adolf Hitler the, bring the self-esteem back to German people, and they somehow managed to go to war again in the World War II. So I don't really read about this person, but I've seen many documentaries on television and internet. For example, in YouTube and Manoto TV channel, and I found this person really interesting because um, he was very patriot, and he uh, he he really loved his country and did everything for his country was that he thinks it is possible. So I think for German people on that time that was a necessity, but these days he is not he's not called a great person, and he is responsible for a lot of bad things happening during the World War II, including the massacre and um, genocide that happened for uh, Jewish people. So that's it.
Um, did you explain why you found this person so interesting?
Yeah, I've tried my best.
Mm, you mentioned that you learned about him through YouTube, the internet, and what he did, but you didn't mention why you found him so interesting. You didn't.
Um, I didn't.
No. You mentioned all of the other points, okay? Uh, you had some great vocab, self-esteem, patriot, but there was a mispronunciation. You said patriot. It's
Patriot.
patriot, patriot.
Okay.
And you used genocide, and all of these vocab are less common vocabulary, and they're really good, okay? At the
Okay.
beginning, you had a slip. It's not a mistake. and even in band 8, if you take a look at the public version of the band descriptors, sometimes there can be rare slips. Rare. And what does that mean? It means that it is obvious that you know the correct version, but maybe because you're stressed, maybe because you're in a test, maybe because you try to start straight away, you made a little tiny mistake. You
Mm.
started by saying thinked about, and we don't have the word thinked, it's thought. And I
Oh,
know,
yeah.
yeah, and I know you know it, okay? But this is a
Yeah.
slip, and it's not really a big deal as long as you don't make a lot of slips, okay? If you
Yeah.
make a lot of slips, then the examiner would think something else. They would say that, okay, this guy has memorized some vocab like genocide, patriot, self-esteem,
Mm.
and his grammatical structure doesn't match with these vocab. So these are just memorized, and his grammar is not good, and in general, they wouldn't give you a good mark. Okay?
Yeah.
But if you only have one, we're human beings. We make slips. Sometimes, have you seen when you want to say something? For example, say, "Okay, Ali, go take a shower." All right, but instead of saying "go take a shower," you make a slip. All right, Ali, go shake a tower. Shake a tower? You see,
Yeah.
it's a slip. All right, it doesn't mean that they don't know the differences. They know the
Is that
difference.
okay to, I'm sorry,
Yeah,
is that okay to correct myself?
of course, as long as you're
How
not doing it too much. Okay.
how can I do it
Uh
in a
huh.
way that don't reduce my score?
Yeah. The best way, whenever you have a little mistake and you can feel that there is a mistake going on, or from the examiner's facial expressions, you can see that maybe they didn't really get it. Then you could just say, "What I mean is," and then you start
Mm.
again, or you could simply uh, just say, for example, okay, let me just start again, let me just start again, what I mean, blah, blah, blah. You can start like
Mhm.
this. Yeah,
Okay.
it's okay.
It doesn't affect my score.
As long as you don't do it a lot. You do it
One
once,
time is okay.
yeah, once in all three parts. Yeah, so like in
Once
general once.
all three times.
Yeah, not
Okay.
once in every part. Okay, no. In
Okay.
general, once it's okay. Okay. Part 3 questions. What lessons can we learn from studying the past?
Um, well, um, it really depends on the material which we are studying about the past, because there are some historical literature which are not really valid, and there are too many um, translations, there are too many um, I don't know, readings and understandings about the history, and it depends on the which one we are studying. But in general, studying of the past could teach us a lot of things.
What events have happened recently that you think will be remembered as important in history?
Um, I can't mention anything recently, but the something that it was very important Iran's history was the revolution, which happened about 40 or 50 years ago. I think it is very important part of history of Iran.
Okay. Um, do you think museums are the best way to get children and young people interested in history?
Um, well, museums are a really important part of every country's culture, and in my opinion, there are other ways that could be very effective. One of them is television and documentaries, and I don't think the best way to introduce and teach the history is museum.
Hmm. Do you think it is important for literature and films about past events to be historically accurate?
Um, as far as I'm concerned, the documents and uh, productions which is shown by television is not really um, accurate. And the best way to study history is reading books. So if the accuracy is really important, it is better to study different understandings of the history and do different interpretations of the history. So uh, watching some documents in television, I don't think it is very uh, we don't get any general, correct, and precise understanding of history.
Okay, 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 okay. Now, first of all, um, in general, I don't have problems with your vocabulary. I think the vocab that you use from the beginning till now, all of the questions that I asked all together, the vocab that you used in general were really good. Okay? So I've already mentioned the previous ones like, patriot, self-esteem,
Mm.
use an arm and a leg and all that. And the ones that you used now, valid, revolution, um, accurate, as far as I'm concerned, is good. Good cohesive device. Interpretation, precise, correct. However, your answers for part 3 are short.
Mm.
The reason is because you mentioned one thing. Sometimes when you want to add extra information, you use so, blah, 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 and then you end it there. But there are other points where you can add extra information and using better cohesive devices. And the reason why you don't do that is, again, because you run out of ideas and you don't force yourself to explain more, to mention
Mm.
more things. Okay?
Yeah.
So lack of cohesive devices is due to the fact that you have lack of ideas. Can you see how they are connected?
Yeah.
And when
I
you,
can use, you mean I can use, for example, therefore, moreover, and stuff like that?
yeah, of course. To add to
Mm.
that, in addition,
Yeah, I know what are you trying to say.
exactly, you lack that. Okay, so that's something you really need to work on. And I
Yeah, I will.
guess, yeah, I guess the main reason for you not being able to do this sufficiently is because you lack ideas.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Am I in a correct path? Am I getting better?
Yes, yes, you are certainly in the correct path. And if if I'm not mistaken, you have really thought about the questions, because words like genocide and patriot are not common words that most students know. So obviously you have searched for them, yes?
I generally look at the questions which are in other documents, like actual tests. I've studied them about 2 or 3 times, and try to answer them in different ways. I don't memorize my answers. Every time I see the question, I try to answer them in a different way. So
Okay,
every time,
but I think you had some thinking time. I mean, did you search for patriot? Did you search for
no,
genocide?
no,
No, you already knew them?
yeah,
Oh, good. If you already knew them, that's wonderful.
thank you.
Touch wood, mate. Touch wood. Okay. Um. All right. What else can I say? Aha. There are also some parts. Remember, it's the same problem I had with you last session. Most of your speaking is
Oh yeah, intonation is very bad.
yeah,
I recorded my
you
voice. I couldn't even listen it till the end.
when you
Uh,
listen to yourself, don't you get bored?
I get sleep. I get sleepy.
Yes, right now I'm doing a great thing that I'm awake, because
Yeah,
because I've been listening to this
uh,
for 49 minutes now. Okay,
yeah, that's
and
very hard. I know. I know.
there is no um, it's like there are some questions and you're just not interested in any of the questions. Okay, you don't show any interest. You don't say, for example, uh, I don't know, what lessons can we learn from studying the past? You say, generally speaking, blah blah. You don't even say, that's a great question. Well,
Yeah,
you don't even say that. You don't show enthusiasm. So, showing enthusiasm, trying to emphasize in some parts can really help you. Okay, you will
yeah,
sound more interesting to the examiner. Right now, it's
yeah.
just like
I don't want to be my own examiner. I hate I hate myself.
it's that is a major thing. Oh, and come on, mate. Um, for part two, was it part two? Let me just check part two again. Interesting person. No, no, not part two. This one. What events have happened recently, mate? Coronavirus.
Yeah, fuck.
You
Yeah,
talked about the revolution, which was like 30 years ago. I don't know, 20 years ago. Okay, and that's not recently.
no, it's
Okay,
not
and
even.
it's not the fact that the examiner will go and fact check now. They don't even care when the revolution was. But when it
Yeah,
says recently, well, you could have, because Corona is very recent. One, it's fresh. Two, uh, and the fact that there is a lot to say. All right,
yeah.
you
I
could
could talk about it for 10 minutes.
you could explain the advantages and disadvantages of it.
Yeah,
Okay, It says, what events have happened recently that you think will be remembered as important in history? You can answer that and, connect it to the advantages of having coronavirus. Not personally having it, I mean the situation of the lockdown, staying at home and everything. And
Yeah,
the disadvantages, that was something that you could have, you know, explained a lot about.
yeah.
You see, ideas.
Ideas are very important.
Yeah.
Do you like the way that Trump talks?
The way that Trump talks, Trump is the opposite of you. Okay? What do I
Yeah.
mean by this? Trump is interested in everything. Okay? That's so good. That's wonderful.
Yeah,
That's news. That's fake news. That's all he
yeah,
does. All right?
yeah.
And he's multi-billionaire. I don't know, he's really rich, so it
He
doesn't even
doesn't care, even care
it
about them.
doesn't even matter how he speaks. You know, he's rich. Who cares how he speaks? Although if you search on YouTube, you can find a lot of his mistakes, and there was an interesting, I think, video or image that I've seen, that a part of what Donald said and what Barack Obama said. Barack Obama would be like a band 8, and Donald would be like a band 4 or 5. Yeah, in
Uh,
terms of speaking.
yeah. So
Ah,
he's bad at speaking, huh?
he's terrible. His
Mm.
speaking
Ah,
sucks.
well,
Yeah. He
well.
he's not an intellectual, educated um, politician. He,
Yeah,
he's
for sure.
he's a true businessman, okay,
Yeah.
and he knows how to close deals, how to give tough contracts and things like that. But he's just he wasn't right. He wasn't the right person for being a president, anyway. Although a lot of people support him, but yeah.
People
Anyway.
didn't like politicians, in my opinion. Because of that, they
Mhm.
voted him.
Mhm.
They didn't like the Clinton or other people. So,
Yeah, but this guy is a nutter.
yeah, he's
He's
idiot.
he's crazy. You know what I mean? Okay. Now I want to know about your plan. So, what are you going to do for this week? How are you going to study?
Um, I'm going to study the rest of the units,
Mhm.
um, 5, 6, and
Well,
no,
no, no. You did
um,
unit 5, so unit
six.
6 and
Yeah,
7.
6, 7, and the eighth one. I look at the unit 8, and it was a review.
Mhm.
So that would be great for me to review all the units.
Mhm.
So for the next session, I will study unit 6, 7, and 8.
Okay. Let me just take a note of this on
And
Google Keep. So for next session, you will have self-studied units 6, 7, and 8. Okay. And hopefully after that, then we will probably just have a lot of speaking sessions, like real exams.
yeah,
Yeah.
so can you give me some homeworks or something like that? That would be great.
Yes, using this IELTS speaking practice, I will I will send you part 1, part 2, and part 3 of one of the parts, basically one of the books and tests. I'll send
Mm.
you part 1, part 2, and part 3 in order for you to uh, go and think about the questions, then record your voice on vocaru.com, and then
Okay.
the same procedure, and
Yeah.
then I will listen to your voice and give you. Did you read the feedbacks I've written for you on Edmodo on the
Yeah.
previous one?
Yes, I will.
Did
Yes.
you like them?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I'll do the something similar, but I'm going to choose
Oh,
like a topic that we haven't covered yet.
yes, that would be
Yeah,
great.
something new. Yes, so that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed the session. Don't forget to comment and
That was hilarious.
yeah, and Narek, I have recorded this session. If it's okay, I want to post
Okay.
it on YouTube, and you could also, watch
No problem.
yourself speak and answer the questions. It's good to see yourself again and see how you have performed and think
Yeah,
about.
that would be nice.
Yeah, so from now on, this is what I'm doing. I try to uh, record every session that I have. Other than that, on YouTube, I'm going to also, record some things that I want to just, create some video. Uh,
Actually, I saw your Telegram channel.
mhm,
I visited your YouTube channel. That was
uh-huh.
really great. And I saw the video of your student called Solar, yeah?
Solar, yeah, that was today. That was today's
Yeah,
class. Yeah, two more
yeah, I saw it.
videos. There's going to be your video and another student's video. Uh, it will also be uploaded soon. You could watch them, get some ideas. It
Yeah,
would be a great thing for you to do. You don't need to watch all of it. Just look at the points that you find interesting. Yeah,
yeah,
that's it.
that would be great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.